It's that time, y'all. Get on your feet and put your hands together.
Peace, Hotep to the Aquara family. Welcome to Let's Buy Black 365. Let me introduce to you this sister right here beside me. This sister is a young professional, an activist, and she loves black people, y'all. You know, she is a 2017 Black Power Awards nominee in the area of economics, and she's also the spokesperson of Let's Buy Black 365. None other than the Queen, Nataki Kamban.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So excited to be here. This is our first show, our pilot show. Yeah. Thank you for being here. We're excited to see all of you on Time for an Awakening, Bibi to Mikasa, and Let's Buy Black. So welcome. Definitely want to introduce you to someone now. This brother here is an activist. He is a civil rights and criminal defense attorney, and he's also a documentary filmmaker. Please welcome your co-host, Talib Saber.
Thank you, Nataki. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a blessing to be here. I'm just so happy that we started the show.
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful thing, you know, and a lot of people, most people know about Let's Buy Black 365.
Right.
But for those that don't, Let's Buy Black 365 is a black economic empowerment movement.
Right, right. It's all about how you know, we used to think that it took getting 50 million black people on the same page to create economic empowerment. And this movement is all about highlighting the fact that we really can create economic empowerment as individuals just by choosing where and how we spend our time, money, and resources. And so the Let's Buy Black 365 movement is really all around how to give you access to the resources so that you can do just that. And this show is even one of the new resources you'll have to get all kinds of new information.
Yes, yes. So everybody has been asking about the show, and like, what type of show is it? Is it a variety show?
Right.
Is it a lifestyle show? Is it a talk show?
Right.
You know?
It's kind of all, but
yeah. Well, don't give it away yet. You know, don't give it away yet. But we were talking behind before we got on about it, and I think that we do have a little montage that best describes it.
Yeah. We were hanging out earlier today, and I think okay.
So let's check it out. What's up, family? I'm Talib.
And I'm Nataki.
So what is the Let's Buy Black 365 Connect show?
It's savvy business management and growth tips.
It's where you find culture and history.
It's where you get tips on great cooking and healthy eating.
Sports.
It's where to get tips on the best books to read.
Health and wellness.
It's where you get tips on all the best places to eat.
It's everything. We're blacking it out.
Wow. Yeah, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
And I think it perfectly describes exactly what this show is.
Absolutely.
You know, it's really all about the best in black excellence. And throughout this season, you're going to meet some of our amazing guests. We've got, you know, some notables and celebrities, real celebrities.
Yeah.
We've got activists who are doing amazing things around the country. You know, there's so much happening in the black community, and mainstream media doesn't talk about it. And so sometimes as individuals, we start to feel like, well, maybe nothing's going on.
Right.
And it's really, there's so much going on. It's just, how do we get plugged into it?
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, this season is going to be fantastic.
Yes, it's our inaugural show, the first show, and we are really in for a treat this year.
Right. And you know, speaking of some of the guests and things we're going to have on, we have just a number of media partners that we also definitely want to give shout outs to. Some of the media who's been there throughout the course of this. So of course, timeforanawakening.com, their radio streaming platform. And so when you can't watch the show, you could always listen to it on any device on Time for an Awakening and go to the Let's Buy Black Connect page. Also, our partners, we definitely want to give a shout out to Get This Wisdom magazine. Amazing publication, doing incredible things. Definitely subscribe to that. And also a Bibi to Mikasa, the African Language Network, is amazing for you know, people complain about all the things happening on all these other social networks, and you know, none of the garbage that we have to deal with on other social networks happens there because it's 100% black and for black people. So definitely shout out to Bibi Tumikasa.
Love it. And that was a perfect segue because most of us know Dr. Obadele Kamban. And you know, he's a historical genius, cultural genius. You know, he speaks 10 different languages. You know, I'm struggling with just English and trying to pick up another language. And he speaks 10, right? But he is the architect of the biggest, blackest, Pan-Africanist platform, social media platform called Bibi Tumikasa.
Right.
You know, so without further ado, we have a message from Dr. Kamban.
Okay.
This is Dr. Obadele Kamban coming at you live from University of Ghana Institute of African Studies, and I'm coming at you just to let you know that there are some big, huge, blacktastic, blacknificent, spectacular, black extravagant changes that are coming to Bibi Tumikasa very soon. One is a shorter URL. You can reach us now at abibitumi.com. That's one. Another thing is that the site is being redesigned from the ground up, redesigned from scratch. Now, we heard a lot of feedback from people. People were saying they want it to be more user-friendly, more engaging, more social. So we took all that feedback and we reconstructed the whole website from the ground up. Now we also have single sign-on. This is before you had to have one account for the store, a different account for the forums. Now we have single sign-on no matter where you are. Another thing that we have are new language courses, and you can also create your own language courses. And so we're inviting scholars from throughout the African world, those who are serious about African liberation, to join Bibi Tumikasa to start their own language courses online. This is the one-stop shop, the go-to place for African people throughout the world. We have 2 million users. We've been in existence for 11 years now, started back in 2006, and we are growing, we are expanding, and we're taking away all the excuses of the virtual digital integrationists. That's right, all these people who claim to be conscious, who are on these white websites, on the Facebook, on the Twitter, on the YouTube. Stop socializing on YouTube, stop socializing on Twitter, be on Bibi Tumikasa. So again, this is the place to be. We want you to be there. We want you to check it out. You can even go and be one of our beta testers at abibitumi.com. So you can check out the new redesign and get a feel of all the new changes that are coming. So don't waste any time. Be at Abibitumikasa, abibitumi.com. Both URLs are going to take you to the same new place very soon. The old site is still up there at abibitumikasa.com, but the new site is already in effect and built on abibitumi.com. So we want to see you there. We want you to be at the blacktastic, blacknificent, blackorific, spectacular, black extravagant place to be on the internet. Every single black person in the world should be a member of this site, and quit making Mark Zuckerberg and all these white folks rich. Stop being digital and virtual integrationists. Memamo Abibi Fahundie. Stay black.
All right. Yeah, that was awesome. I was posting a message on the social stream on Bibi Tumikasa while he was saying that. So definitely go to the Play Store or iTunes and download the Bibi Tumi app. Now that it's got the shorter name of Bibi Tumi. And throughout the season, you'll actually be able to comment on things. We've got some prizes and giveaways and all different kinds of special things. So the only way to get access to those is through Black social networks. So definitely get on Bibi Tumi and on Let's Buy Black's Connect app, and you'll get access to everything.
I love it. I'm on there myself at Talib Speaks, so I really enjoy it, and the fact that you're able to, it's just black. Love it.
Yeah. And that it's not, you know, people, I was on a radio show the other week, and people were like, well, what do you think about everything that's going on with, you know, some of these YouTube scholars and everything? Right. And I was like, well, the funny thing is, you know, on real Black social networks where people are doing amazing things all over the world, those names don't even come up. And so, you know, it's really about being in places with people who are doing powerful things. And so, yeah.
Absolutely. So here at Let's Buy Black 365, we're family, a communal family, you know, a community family. And as family, I think it's important for us to get to know one another.
Okay.
Right? So Natasha, all right, tell the audience, our family, 3 most fascinating things about you in 60 seconds or less.
60 seconds,
60 seconds
okay.
or less.
Oh my gosh, fascinating things about me. Okay, I guess I should know some fascinating things about me, but okay. All right, I got it. I'm ready.
Okay, and go.
Okay, so I would say the first thing would be, I'll start from birth. I was delivered at home on purpose by my parents. They chose to have me at home with midwives, so my father helped deliver me, and we actually, my parents owned the house that Spike Lee later used to film the movie Crooklyn.
What?
Yeah, so that was our family home.
Okay.
So that's one. Second thing, I'll go with family again. My brother and I have the same birthday, but we're not twins. We have the same birthday, but we're actually 2 years apart. So a lot of people think because I'm shorter that I'm the younger sister, but I'm actually the older sister. He's just super tall and I'm tiny. And then I think the third thing would probably be my job. I think it's pretty fascinating. You know, there are a lot of business consultants, but I actually do a different kind of business consulting where I take small businesses and micro businesses or people who just have a business idea, and I take their idea and their cash investment and actually turn it into a functioning, operational, profitable business, usually in like 30, 60, 90 days, and really grow ideas and idling businesses into multi-million-dollar operations. Multi-million-dollar operations. So,
Natasha, you have an extensive resume.
Yeah.
But multi-million-dollar, again. But it's one thing that I think you left out. That's dear to me.
Hopefully there's more than 3 fascinating things, so I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
So the one thing that's dear to me, you're a vegan chef, right?
Yeah. Back, my parents and our family operated a bookstore and cultural center in Raleigh, North Carolina, Blacknificent Books in the Baynou Cultural Center.
Shout out.
And I used to, I got the nickname in college, Best Vegan Chef, and I used to do all the catering for those programs, and you know, we had all different kinds of amazing speakers and lecturers, and some of the most brilliant Black minds in America came through. Yeah, I definitely mastered the craft of doing vegan catering.
Okay. Yeah, so you know, now is the time that people are making new resolutions and trying to eat healthier and do, you know, just a little diet stuff. We all are.
You're right.
But do you think that you'll be able to tell the audience, give them a couple of tips as to how to eat healthier?
Yeah, you know, I could, but I was thinking, you know, we've been talking a lot, and this is a lifestyle show.
Got you. Okay. So instead of telling us, how about you show us?
Yeah, I definitely can do that. Okay, so how about this? How about we take a break, and when we come back, I will welcome you all to my kitchen, and we'll be able to, I'll show everybody how you can prepare a healthy, affordable, delicious, easy vegan meal at home.
Excellent. Well, you know, I've had you cooking before, so I'm game.
Okay.
I'm game. But yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. We'll take a break, and we'll see you in a second.
All right.
What's happening? This is David Banner, and Let's Buy Black 365. Yay!
Hi, this is Dr. George Fraser here to bring you the Let's Buy Black 365 Power Networking Power Tip. It's New Year's, and it's time for us to set some new goals. In a sense, having a new mindset and a new consciousness for this new year. So I want to give you a couple of ideas, a couple of thoughts around mindsets that people of African descent must engage in beginning this year, beginning now, things that you can do. I'm going to talk about it in the terms of we, and then I want you to extract it in terms of you, what you can do to engage and to embed this mindset into your consciousness and to your subconsciousness. Number one, new mindset. I believe that black people in general, and you in particular, must have a narrower cultural vision. We must focus on making black people great first. Not America great, not Ohio great, not California great, but black people great first. A narrower cultural vision. So, how does that apply to you? Well, you have to focus on moving from average to amazing. Our parents taught us what? That we're going to have to be twice as good to get half as much. Because if you're black and mediocre in America, you better leave, because you're going to be marginalized and you're ultimately going to be destroyed in this country. So averageness cannot be a part of your vocabulary. Amazingness is what you need to focus on. And when you have a narrower cultural vision, focusing on making you great first, amazingness is not out of reach. The second mindset, now this is a different and somewhat of a complex request, but it's something that we must do. I believe that as black people that we must socially ostracize and isolate those black people of means that do not reinvest and do not give back to our own community. I learned this actually from Jewish people. If you are a Jew of means and you do not give back to Jewish issues, Jewish organizations, and Jewish causes, you're out. You're socially isolated and you're socially ostracized. You see, we don't have that many in our culture and in our community in this country that make millions and millions of dollars a year. So it is not right for someone of our culture to make millions, if not billions, write big checks for institutions that are not of their culture, and not write even a small check for an institution that is of their culture. They ought to be socially isolated and ostracized. We have no system like that in our community. I'm saying to you is that if you are a brother or sister of means, you should be giving back. You should be reaching down and lifting up, reaching back and pulling forward. The third mindset for the new year is I deeply believe that we must coalesce around our vision and not just our pain. When someone puts a bullet in the head of a young brother or a young sister, boy, we're out there by the thousands. But when we talk about economic development and wealth creation and supporting and visiting Let's Buy Black 365, boy, we really have to beat people into getting them to do that. So economic development, wealth creation, closing the income and wealth gap is important as all of the other things that happen to us that are painful. But we just can't saber rattle when it's painful. We have to coalesce. We have to come together when there are big goals that are powerful and positive. That's the third mindset. The fourth mindset is to think entrepreneurially. That we must ultimately, by the end of the 21st century, create work and jobs for our people. We must ultimately be the #1 employer of our own people. Jews are the #1 employer of Jews. Asians are the #1 employer of Asians. East Indians are the #1 employer of East Indians. We too must ultimately become the #1 employer of our own people. That means that we have to think entrepreneurially.
Hotep family, it's your brother Rough Mike.
They call me Freedom Writer.
And we are Precise Science, igniting your ancestral DNA all the time. The Black Power award-winning group now. Edutainment is Black Power.
Let's Buy Black 365.
No doubt.
So let's see how you can prepare a healthy meal at home.
Yeah. So welcome to my kitchen. We are going to prepare a quick, simple, easy meal. You can do this at home. It doesn't take a lot of ingredients. Best of all, it is not only healthy, it's also vegan. We're gonna make black bean burgers. There are a lot of national restaurant chains that sell black bean burgers, and people think they're really complicated and complex because they charge so much for them. But we're gonna show you how to make them really cheap and quick in your home. You don't need a lot to do it, so let's jump in.
Excellent. Okay, so how do we get started?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have you open the can of beans.
All right.
So, you know, normally you could do fresh beans and soak them and everything. For the sake of this, we're going to use canned beans. And definitely want to point out that if you are using beans out of a can, you want to start by, you know, using organic where you can find it. Definitely use BPA free, and make sure it doesn't have any of the lining that allows the toxic chemicals from the can to get into your food.
Okay. Oh,
so,
okay.
While he's doing that, I'm going to explain a little bit about what we need to make this dish. We really just need a couple of ingredients. You of course need the black beans. Optionally, you can have oats, but you don't need oats. And then you just need onions, garlic, and seasoning. All right.
I finally got it.
Yes. So let me give you a colander so you can drain the beans. The reason we're putting them in a colander is because you want to make sure that you have gotten all the liquid out. If you don't, when you go to either mash your beans by hand, if you don't have a food processor, or put them in the food processor, they'll be so soupy that you'll actually be making more of a bean soup as opposed to a bean burger.
Okay, so dump it in the...
Well, you can let it sit there for a second, and we're going to go ahead and do the rest of our prep and go from there.
Okay, cool. So we got... Am I cooking this?
Huh? Well, no. I can jump in. So we've got our knife, and you want to start with a really sharp knife, and we're really just going to chop the onions, and we're going to throw everything in the food processor.
Okay, cool. So, on a BB2 Mikasa, you are the best vegan chef, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My username is Best Vegan Chef on the BB2 Mikasa, yeah.
So how was it that how long have you been, the best vegan chef?
Yeah, so actually, I started in college. I didn't know how to cook anything, and there was really nothing to eat on campus, so I started, and I'm a really picky eater. I like good tasting food, and I'm one of those kind of people. Some people will eat their own cooking even if it's bad. I won't eat my own cooking if it's bad.
Throw it away.
And I didn't want to waste ingredients, so I was like, I gotta learn how to cook. And I ended up becoming so good at cooking that I started a catering company out of my dorm room.
Your dorm room?
Yeah, it was wildly successful. A lot of my college professors, other students, surrounding neighborhoods, surrounding universities, people were buying food from me. And that actually led to the seed money I used to start my first company, because I used some of the revenue, one, to finance a continuing education business course at UNC Chapel Hill, and also to start my company.
So wait, you ran a whole enterprise out of your dorm and didn't get shut down?
No. I had a couple of my RAs knew about it, and I bribed one with cookies, and he was on my side, and had another RA who actually was or is a famous comedian who I also bribed with food. He loved my food, and as long as I slipped him some food from time to time, he didn't say anything.
I can't wait to taste this food.
Yeah. So yeah, I just took half the onion. We only have 1 can of beans.
Okay.
So I took half the onion, and we're just gonna throw it right into the food processor. So yeah, so we drained the beans, we chopped the onions, we're peeling the garlic and putting it in there. This is an optional ingredient. You can add oats.
Okay.
And so you don't have to add oats.
What type of oats are those?
These are rolled oats. So rolled oats are the ones that have the wider flakes, as opposed to the quick oats that look a little bit more like flour.
Okay.
So with the rolled oats, It just makes the burger a little bit more dense. It doesn't taste, people are like, oh, does it taste like oatmeal? Oats don't really have that much of a flavor. And honestly, when, you know, the flavor that we associate with oatmeal is really the cinnamon, the sugar,
right, the spices,
the spices that we add, and it really absorbs those flavors well.
Okay.
So even in a savory dish, the oats will absorb these flavors well. You want to use a teeny tiny dash of turmeric. So very, very.
What?
It's gonna come out of there. There you go. Right. Not that tiny. You actually do want to hit it some.
What's next?
And now we'll do the chili powder.
Okay. So this will make it spicy?
Huh?
Will this make it spicy?
No, chili powder actually doesn't have a real kick to it. When I want that extra spice, and when I make these not for the show, I actually use cayenne pepper or jalapeno peppers for that. I don't know if I mentioned, but I was raised vegan, so I've never tasted meat. I've always been vegan or vegetarian.
In this society.
In this society.
Never tasted meat.
Yes, yes. My parents were really, really serious about wanting to make sure that they raised healthy children. And so I grew up, you know, nowadays you have things like black bean burgers and everything, but I grew up eating like cucumber sandwiches and some of the really bad food, or not great tasting food. But I'm really, really thankful that my parents thought enough to, you know, try and make sure that we were eating healthier options. And, you know, I think it's helped make sure that, you know, even now I have just a really cool, healthy lifestyle, and yeah.
And that black don't crack.
Yes.
So what's this we got?
So yeah, so this is black pepper.
Okay.
And so we're gonna use just a little bit of black pepper.
So pinch it, or we want to shake it?
Yeah, we can do either. We can shake some in. And you know, a lot of people are under the perception that black pepper is extremely unhealthy.
Yeah.
Black pepper is actually not unhealthy. If you consume too much of it, it will affect your stomach lining. But that's any pepper.
Okay.
So not just black pepper. Okay. If you don't have paprika, that's okay. But you can add a little bit of paprika.
Okay.
So you could just take a pinch.
A little pinch like that.
You can take a little bit more.
Okay.
A healthy pinch. A healthy pinch.
So what's next?
Yeah, so we just, we cover, and we want to go ahead and chop this.
Okay. So let's see, right here. All right.
Yeah. So you just really want to like mince or make sure it's finely chopped. You don't want it to liquefy, because you still want it to be burger-like. And if you if you do it too much, it'll be mushy. So now we can go ahead and add in our beans.
Perfect. So just dump it right in.
Dump it right in. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my stove. Perfect.
So this is a type of meal that someone who's a college student, us that go to school, or you know, the working parent, like this is a quick and easy meal that we can make.
This is quick and easy. You should be able to make this meal just throwing everything in the food processor and cooking and draining the beans and all that. You should be able to make this meal in under 10 minutes.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
And you know, with this amount of beans, we should be able to make about 10 burgers. So this is definitely more than one meal. So, and if you think of, well, fast food restaurants, you know, you can get something really cheap for $1 or $2, but you can't get 10 burgers. So
healthy burgers at that.
Healthy burgers at that. Okay. Organic healthy burgers at that. So yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. We wanna just make sure it's chopped. We'll go ahead and set that aside. And either with your hands or with a spoon, you can start to roll the patties. So if you notice, I turned my stove on with my pan to let the pan start to heat up ahead of time. Okay. Especially with vegetable burgers, what will happen is they'll stick to the pan and start to fall apart. Frying is, of course, not healthy. And so what I recommend is not so much frying, but more pan searing. Okay. So when I add the oil, I always say the test is you should be able to almost turn your pan over and not have any oil come out as the test of how much oil you should use. And, yep.
All right. Oh, hold on. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. She gotta clean me up.
Well, I was making it kind of round burger-like, but honestly, they taste the same no matter how they look, so it's okay.
Presentation, that's the chef.
Yes.
That's the vegan chef in them.
So yeah, this is, you know, these are really easy burgers. I think, like I said, they're really versatile, so we don't often think of like black beans with pasta, but the flavor combination that we have here is one that it'll work in a pasta, it'll work over rice, it'll work with quinoa, it'll work with a lot of different things in a wrap or a burger or sandwich. So, you know, it really can go a lot of different ways.
Your smell is really good too.
Yeah,
I wish I had this back in college. A vegan out your door?
Yes. And again, because it's so easy, you know, 4 or 5 ingredients in a food processor, or if you don't have a food processor, chopping it up by hand and then just sticking it in the pan. Really, we're just going to brown it on each side and flip it over, and it's done, ready to serve and eat.
So simple, like,
right?
And especially for like, a working person, somebody who really has. Because I'm an attorney too, so like making something like this comes in handy.
It really does. It really does. And the fact that we've got 2, 4, 6, 7 burgers in here right now. We could probably, I said 10, but we could probably get another. We could probably get another 7. So 14 burgers. So whether you're cooking for yourself and want, you know, meals for the week, you know, we used 1 32-ounce can, but if you know, do 2 cans, you know, it's enough for a group or a party. And the nice thing is that the flavor is one where it doesn't matter what your diet is, everybody can enjoy it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. And like I said, it smells so good too.
Yeah, they definitely. And you know, the nice thing about them being vegan is that, you know, with meat stuff, you definitely can't taste it before it's cooked.
True.
Otherwise you'll be food poisoned. But this, you know, you can taste it ahead of time. Yeah. So we're gonna flip these.
Okay.
And let them brown on the other side.
Oh,
Should add a little bit. Yeah, I am left-handed.
Oh, okay. It looks like it's ready to be eaten.
Let's make a little sandwich.
Sure. Okay.
You wanna see what it tastes like?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a cut.
So I got just some tortillas. These are flour tortillas that I bought at my local grocery store. You know, everybody asks, of course, since I'm the spokesperson for Let's Buy Black 365, where do you shop? I try and find as much as I can. There is a local black-owned co-op here in the area, and so I shop there. And where I can't find things there, I shop at the local organic market. All right. So with that, I am going to. Go ahead.
Another question that people may have, we may have, is that to be a vegan is expensive. Like, these dishes are expensive. Is that true?
It's really not. You know, the herbs and spices, you can get a jar of spices for $4, and sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, that's really expensive. You know, the organic spices, but you know, most of these spices will last you at least a year.
Oh, wow.
You know, and I do a lot of heavy cooking. The other thing, this was a can of organic beans that was on sale for less than $2. So relatively speaking, organic food tends to be a little bit cheaper. When I do the financial planning classes, I give the example of like potato chips. People are like, oh, potato chips are cheap and easy, you know, it's so much easier to eat something like that. But the reality is that, you know, the average vending machine bag of potato chips, or even when you're buying it in the grocery store, may cost you between $12 and $19 a pound. Whereas the average pound of organic potatoes may cost you $2 or3. So, and a pound of potatoes is a lot of food that'll last you a lot longer than a bag of potato chips will. So, and most food is like that. Normally I use like lettuce, or you can use kale in your wrap. So I'm just gonna take a little bit. This is vegan mayonnaise. This is a soy-free version.
Okay.
I'm gonna spread that on here.
All right.
This is relish. So let's tilt it. And this is a really good complement to the black bean flavor.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have both of those.
All right.
We're gonna spread that in. You want to spread it in the other one? While I get these patties here.
Sure. I'm trying to have a presentation like the vegan chef.
And honestly, one patty goes pretty far, but I'm gonna add 2 in here. I'm coming.
Smells good, y'all.
And then you can add lettuce, you can add cucumbers.
So we roll it up.
And just roll.
All right. Just eat mine.
Yeah, you see that.
Mmm.
You like it?
Mmm.
So.
This is delicious, y'all. There's no way. There's no way 7 burgers will be for multiple people with me.
Yeah. It's just so good. And honestly, with lettuce or kale or anything, it brings out the flavor so much.
I love the relish to it as well.
Yeah, I'm actually not a fan of pickles and relish, but in this sandwich, it's just a really good flavor combination.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nataki, for showing us, you know, how to prepare such an easy, healthy dish, a simple dish like this.
Yeah.
And this goes a long way, especially for those that have hectic schedules.
Right.
And just being able to kind of introduce different cuisine into your lifestyle and all those things.
It's really good.
It really is. Real good.
So your cooking debut.
I know, right?
Greetings, I'm Dr. Jewel, and I'm here for Let's Buy Black 365. And very important to remember, Black health is Black power. Black health is Black power. Let's buy Black 365. See you there.
Yeah, that was so much fun. I'm so glad we did that.
I am too. You know, I'm still enjoying that food. And I hope we didn't make y'all feel bad for eating in front of you. But you got the recipe, so you can go and make it at home.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I definitely hope nobody felt bad. You know, we've been talking about just how many people we've lost. You know, legends in our community, and a lot of us have lost relatives recently and everything. Who've died from preventable diseases. And so if anything, I'm hoping that, you know, people see this and feel inspired about how they can integrate something easy and healthy and affordable into their own lives and into your own lives, and as well as the lives of your family and friends.
Absolutely. And you know, we're facing attack on so many other fronts that at least on the health and dietary tip, we need to definitely make sure that we get a hold of.
Right. Because we can, you know, diet's the one thing we can control.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, I know you're not a vegan chef for business purposes now, but do you think that you can bless the family with a cooking class that they can take?
Yeah. And people have been asking for that on BB to Mi Casa for a minute. So, in addition to everything that I'm already doing, I would say, you know, I think health is so important, and I've been really passionate about health in the Black community. And I think there's a direct relationship between health and economics. So I would say, yeah, how about we'll get with our family at a BB to Mi Casa. We'll put a cooking course on there that people can register for. And we'll also make it, of course, on letsbuyblack.com's website. You'll be able to sign up for it and take it. You'll learn some easy things to make. And I'll go one better, as I'm kind of thinking this out loud. For all the paid subscribers on Let's Buy Black, you guys can take it for free.
Excellent. Look at that. The first day. The first day we're getting these type of incentives and things to take home. And so will you do more of the demonstrations? Will we get a chance?
Yeah, I think it was fun. I love how we could kind of talk and do everything while we were cooking. So I think it'll be fun, and maybe we can bring some other people some of our guests in and everything to cook with us too. So yeah, definitely we'll do more of that.
Great.
Okay.
I'm down.
Yeah. Okay. But you know what I was just thinking is, you kind of put me on the spot at the beginning, and you were like, "Well, let's let the family get to know you and your cooking and all this kind of stuff."
Okay.
And I'm like, "Well, you know, how about we let everybody get to know you a little bit more, and in 60 seconds or less, you can tell us 3 fascinating things about yourself."
Okay. I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm positive.
All right. Ready? Set. Go.
Okay, so the first one is I've been to 6 different African countries.
Oh wow.
The second one is I was in a Ghanaian music video.
Oh, cool.
When I was in Ghana, and also a South African fashion magazine.
All right, modeling.
And the last one I want to say, I practice Sinukus through Jiu-Jitsu, which is a form of martial arts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, we actually met at a Kwanzaa celebration a couple of years ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And right. And I was just thinking, you know, all the people who work within Let's Buy Black 365, we've met through some type of community group or activity and everything. And I was thinking, in all the time that I've known you and spent time with you working on Let's Buy Black 365, I'm glad that this is the way that I'm finding out that you are a martial arts expert and that I wasn't on your bad side at any point.
Never the Queens. We're not going to do that.
So,
what's that?
Yeah, but that's really cool.
Thanks.
But I think you left something out. Yeah, I think you're being modest because you're also a documentary filmmaker.
True. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
so yeah, I am some slight, but I am working on a documentary series called Afro Hop, and it showcases how the politics of particular nations has influenced the message of the music while promoting Pan-Africanism.
Right.
So yeah, you know. I do a little bit.
So I think I've got the trailer here. So how about we let the fam take a look at that and see what Talib is doing behind the scenes.
Okay, check it out.
All right.
You are now tuned into Afro Hop, taking over the media and turning it black.
Music is life to me. Simply, I mean, it's everything. Without music, I don't think I'd be who I am right now. I want to be that artist, the big artist in Kenya, and also I want to be beyond that. Like, I want to cross over to different other parts of Africa and even maybe even abroad, hopefully. I don't think there's a limit. Teaming up with the baddest to make you shake like a giant. I step on the ground and the earthquakes. I'm getting bigger with every step that I take. When I progress, they keep on watching on every move that I make. Yo, what's up? It's your boy J.A. And shout out to Afro Hop. It's only right that I set it off on the mic. I'll be taking off. Let me bust a verse on these rappers who claiming my style is so set the bar and I break it off.
Because the brother's dope. When I was in Kenya interviewing him, right after the interview, we actually went to his apartment and he whipped up on me thoroughly, a good hour and a half with video games. I have not played video games, family, in a good minute, and yeah, he really showed me the business. But he's a dope artist. I enjoy his music.
Yeah, I like that sound in the video. So okay. Yeah. And speaking of interviewing world famous musicians,
stop it.
We've got. How about you do the blessing of introducing us to our guest for tonight?
No doubt. So this upcoming guest, family, is a awesome and talented musical artist and genius. He has toured and worked with some of the musicians that you adore and that you love, like Melba Moore.
Oh yeah, I love her.
Lift Every Voice.
Her Black National Anthem, the version she did of Lift Every Voice and Sing is one of my favorite.
Yeah. That's most of my artists too. And some other musicians that, you know, well known. But we were able to have him in here live, and also he gave a live performance too. Yeah,
definitely.
So let's check it out.
Back to Let's Buy Black 365. I'm your host Talib, and in this segment we got the bassist, the composer, the educator, Mr. Reggie Payne. Reggie, welcome. Thank you. Yes, so I heard something that you were you picked up doing the drums at 4 years old, and then you matured on to some other instruments. Talk a little bit about your history, just growing up in music.
Well, I grew up with my father playing music and my sisters all sang. We, you know, growing up in church, you know, you hear music all the time. My best friend was playing drums, so, you know, we had been best friends literally our whole entire life. So he started playing drums around 3, I started around 4. And from there, you know, my father was a hobbyist pianist, so he showed me a few songs like I Wish and things like that. Songs I still use today, you know. But started there, and then I moved on to other instruments as I went through high school, and eventually, by the time I graduated from high school, I had learned 11 instruments, and I was able to, yeah, I wanted to be a teacher, so knowing I wanted to be a music educator, you have to know, you know, they make you take classes on each of the instruments anyway. So you have tests on those instruments, and I've always had the mindset I was going to be ahead. You know, I wasn't going to wait till I got to school for somebody to give me a book. For me, you know, I knew I could pick up a book before and learn what I needed to learn. And I learned all that, you know, I didn't get real lessons until about 10th, 11th grade in high school. The choir teacher actually gave me piano lessons, and those piano lessons helped me get both of my full rides to Bowie State and Berklee College of Music.
Excellent. So how many instruments exactly can you play? 11.
Piano, organ. I still play organ in church. I'm a music director at a church as well. Drums, saxophone, clarinet, flute, trumpet, trombone, tuba, as well as various percussion instruments. Of course, guitar. Of course, bass. I don't know if I even said bass. Probably should have said bass first. This is my main instrument right here, and this is actually the last instrument I learned. And once I got to bass, I tried to keep the other ones in there, but bass was just calling me, you know, all the time. So I literally started trying to do everything that I was doing on other instruments on bass, and that's how I got into creating the CD and the album. Of course, when you work for other artists, they can always tell you you're fired. You know, they can always, you know, let you go, just like any other job. But when you're the artist, and you're not on a record label, at least. Like, I'm not on a label. I do everything. I executively produce my album. You know, I put up my money. I produced it, wrote everything. Only things I didn't do, I contracted out a few things like the mix and the master and the photography and the digital graphics, but everything else was done in-house. So, you know, with that, that also puts me in complete control of my music and ownership of my music. And which means I get to put out what I want to put out, not what somebody else says, oh, I'm a shelf this, you know, because with the mixture of music that I do, you know, they may say, I need you to do an all jazz album, or I need you to do an all rock album. I don't want an album with jazz, rock, acoustic, or, you know, and all these different genres that I like to do, you know, in the modern fusion things.
That's black power. That's a black power, to be able to kind of create your own, whether it be time frame or your own business, like working for yourself. That's something that we're trying to do here at Let's Buy Black 365. Tell our audience about the intersection between music and community.
Well, I work with a nonprofit called FAME, the Foundation for Advancement of Music and Education, which is run by Miss Tony Lewis. She's the founder. And we do after-school programs, summer programs, as well as clinics, and we also help with other academic subjects for the students as well.
That's excellent. I know it's a big boost for the youth to actually see someone who is an artist come back and give to the community. And speaking of which, you have an album that's out right now, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, All Bass Creation. Tell everybody about the new album.
So, the new album is All Bass Creations. I did it entirely with just my bass and effects pedals. And it can be found on allbasscreations.bandcamp.com. And like I said, it's all modern fusion. It's 8 tracks. You go get it. I think you'll love it.
And what song are you performing for us today?
Variations of Spain, which is a tribute to Chick Corea, who's one of my absolute favorite musicians. So I had to do a tribute on this album to him, and on each of my albums I'm going to do a tribute to one of my heroes, at least one song.
Excellent. All right, so let's check it out. Spain, you heard it here first on Mr. Reggie Payne. Alright, this album is, tell the audience again where to get the album.
You can find the album allbasscreations.bandcamp as well as allbasscreations.com.
Alright, so this has been Talib with Let's Buy Black 365, Mr. Reggie Payne. go cop the album, right, and jam us out.
Love that segment. I really like his fusion music, and I think maybe because I love that whole Spanish influence, that Variations of Spain. I really like the rhythm on that song.
Yeah, it's like when the beat hits your soul, you just kind of move with it. And I love his music for that.
And speaking of the beat hitting your soul, I'll tell you all, I'll be honest, my favorite part of that whole recording was something we didn't show, but I'm gonna show you because it was the behind the scenes footage when Reggie was rehearsing and Talib, you know, we're getting the lights together, we're getting the sound together, and Talib was just jamming like he's at a concert. Hey. So, hold on, check it out. I love that.
Like I said before, when the beat hits your soul, you gotta let it out. We African people, that's what we do.
Right. Yeah, I love that. I love it.
Exactly, but really here on the show on Let's Buy Black 365, we really want to promote local talent, local artists, and even black-owned businesses, companies, and all of those things, such as the shirt that you wear.
Oh yeah. Speaking of love, I love my history sweatshirt. In fact, as we were looking through some of the footage, you know, we've recorded some interviews with all kinds of amazing people, and I was looking back, and I have the sweatshirt on or this hoodie on in so many interviews. I was like, people gonna think I only own one sweatshirt. But it's so comfortable though. Like, I think it's like the lining, I don't know. So, you know, this ain't a product placement endorsement, but I really do like this hoodie. But and you know, I think the timing is good because there's been so much in the news lately.
Absolutely.
That ridiculous story about the company that we won't name that decided to call our young brother, you know,
king of the jungle or something like that. Monkey
and people are like, what are we gonna do? Why are we going? So we're gonna meet next week two amazing entrepreneurs who are doing brilliant things in the fashion community. One, we've got a style consultant from Power in One Clothing who's going to talk to us a little bit. And then we also have a sister who owns a clothing store that sells business attire who's going to talk to us a little bit about how to get your business wardrobe right. So you'll have the casual and athletic wear side, but you'll also have the business side, and that's coming up next week.
I love it. And plus, you know, next week is Martin Luther King birthday. So we have a treat for that. So you make sure that you go on to letsbuyblack365.com and participate in the video contest that we have.
Right.
And that way you can be on the show.
Yeah. So amazing things coming up next week. You know, this show is really bringing a lot of powerful resources and information, and I think this season is going to be so much fun.
Absolutely,
so much fun.
Absolutely. And I think that we have a special announcement that you have to mention, Nataki, right?
Right. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with that announcement.
From antiquity to the present, our people need to develop a new paradigm. It's time for an awakening with your host, Brother Elliot. Sundays, 7 p.m., Fridays at 8 p.m. For podcasting or live program scheduling, hit us up at timeforanawakening@gmail.com.
So Nataki, what's the announcement?
Yeah, so, you know, this movement over the last couple years has been all focused on individuals and how we get our individual economic empowerment. And, you know, one of the things we recognized is that, you know, there are so many amazing Black-owned businesses out there that are doing incredible things, but we also need more of that. And we, in the Let's Buy Black 365 movement, wanted to see how can we actually create more businesses that are able to do things like build communities and create more jobs and resources. And so we have partnered with a consulting firm to offer $1 million, a $1 million pool of consulting services available to someone who either just has an idea for a business or has an existing business or a startup. And we'll actually surround them with all the resources they need so that we can scale them, like I talked about earlier in the show, to the multi-million-dollar enterprise level without all of the struggles that businesses typically have to do. Right. And so this is incredible because what generally happens, I should qualify it, it's not completely free. Right. There is an investment, and the reason we did that is, you know, even if you go to a loan officer, or if you're trying to, you know, even if you're getting a grant, or if you're got an angel investor, they want to see that the business or the business owner has some skin in the game, is really serious, that they've invested in their idea before they come with the expectation that somebody else is going to invest in the idea. And so we took the same model, but whereas with like a loan or something, you may have to come up with 30, 40, 50%. With this, people are actually, you know, able to come with like 10%.
Oh wow, that's good.
And get support around, you know, much of the 90% of the services they need to grow. So this is absolutely incredible for the Black business community. And in 2018, we're actually creating the models for the businesses and the economic empowerment that we want to see.
I love it. I love it. And it gives you an opportunity, whether you are an entrepreneur or if you are someone who is looking to just collaborate with some of the brilliant minds of Black America, to join into this movement and be a part of this great initiative and incentive that we're doing here at Let's Buy Black 365.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
So unfortunately, Nataki, we got to say goodbye to our family tonight. It's been a great show. It's been an awesome show. And before we go though, we have a message from our future generation.
Yeah. So, you know, we had this first episode and the season coming out, and our friends at the Kuumba Kids reached out to us and said that they put something together for the Let's Buy Black 365 movement, and I was so touched when I saw it. I was like, we definitely have to include it on the show. Right. So this is from the Kuumba Kids, led by Kwao and Bashia Imana. And take a listen, and we'll see you next week.
This is Tyler.
And this is Nataki. Tune in next week at 8 p.m. on Connect, and
we're blacking it out.
Brothers and sisters, let me tell you a time. Economically, our community was just fine. From home to home, we circulated our wealth because we supported Black businesses and did for self.
Grandma Jessie made the clothes, Mama Pearl baked the cakes, Mr. Willie did the plumbing, and old Joe, he fixed your brakes. The Browns had a grocery to get the other food you couldn't get on the farm, and it was all good.
Places like Black Wall Street in Oklahoma we had, banks, businesses, schools, I'm telling you, man, things weren't bad.
Money circulated constantly. Our community grew and grew. But then there were others who tried to jack up what we tried to do.
Burnings, lynchings, bombs, and riots. Anything to bring us down, they would try it. They took everything. Thought our spirit was killed? Nope. We survived, and then we rebuilt.
We thought they would
stop this madness and leave us alone.
Then they tricked us into carrying it into our homes.
McCall's Sears soap operas, Cosmopolitan. We turned it on, wasn't nobody stopping them.
What's bleaching cream? Does my hair look good, Mommy?
It was a terrible day when we all became zombies.
Zombie.
Wake up!
Brothers and sisters, free yourself.
We have the power to increase our wealth. Walmart, Macy's, Target, just stop it.
Put that money back in your pocket.
If you really want them to leave you alone,
turn off that TV and put down that phone.
Support our businesses, support our stores. We must do for ourselves so we can all have more. Break the chains of economic slavery. Live by Ujima and live it bravely.
Cooperative economics. Let's keep it